Okay. I think shit's working today. I think it's working. YouTube Studio. Content. What is she doing running around the side of the house? Okay. And then I'm going to pin this mofo up here. What'd you just do? Huh? Oh, okay. You were just marking it? And then we're going to...
I was vacuum collecting a little dog.
Pin message. Message pinned. Okay. Do. You were marking the poop?
I did. One of them didn't come back, so I had to.
To can link actively from this app with activity from non-Google apps. Oh, hell no. Google's asking me, YouTube has ads. Get the right ones. What's new? On the next screen, choose if YouTube can directly. No. Ask app not to track. Hell no. I don't want you tracking me across apps. Google. Okay. Morning, Chris, by the way. Okay. I've got on. We're good. We're going to build a strategy. By the way, how's VGLT working out for those of you who listened to Christian yesterday and missed a 3% run in the NASDAQ? Well, this one was down, I don't know, a couple percent. A little bit. But, you know, we all know one day doesn't make a market, so. Especially in bonds. Douche. What a dick he was. And I don't have a problem with his strategy. I just have a problem with it. I said it wasn't my cup of tea to invest in bonds, and then immediately he got angry and started going after people and calling me a fraud. That's what I had a problem with. Otherwise, I wouldn't have muted him for 30 minutes, which probably drove him nuts. Let's do the scanner. I am going to build a custom scanner while during the podcast today. Wow. Oh, God. NVIDIA. Got to buy NVIDIA now. It just crossed up. We've got an NVIDIA scans. I'm going to buy NVIDIA today. I know I usually don't buy on Fridays, but God. Let's see. Okay, I've got everything. I think I've got everything there. Nope, that's not everything. I know that's not everything. Oh. Okay, now it's got everything, I think. Yep, there we go. I honest to God, I think something happened there. Something happened with him. He was okay for a good while. I mean, he was a good individual. He wasn't that angry. But yesterday he was just, Chris, he was angry. I mean, he got angry. Copy. Okay. No. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my notes. What up, that? What up? I have a feeling something happened. Maybe he was in 5%. Bonds. during the entire run. I don't know. I wish him well, but when you get angry at people and you start calling people a fraud and stuff, yeah, I don't have I mean, we all have different strategies. Chris, you trade a hell of a lot more than I do. I would never condemn someone's strategy. And if you go back and listen to it, I just literally said, it's not my thing. Bonds, not my thing. And he said he immediately got angry about how I don't understand how bonds work. And that is what it is. I hope he joins today. And I hope he's a little calmer. Because if he's not a little calmer, I don't know why he came back, honestly. I know. And you should sell at 30. You should absolutely sell at 30. And I don't know if that's right, but I think you should sell at 30. Yeah, Steph. Shop, I think a lot of people took profits on Shop. It's down 1.65. I may sell out of this as well. I hate doing it on a Friday, but I think that's a good strategy just based on the chart. I mean, it just doesn't look like a good chart. Even the weekly. I mean, the weekly looks fantastic with a period 41%. God, look at that. I mean, the low was $48.56. The high was $68.78. And you're at 67. I think today's a profit-taking stuff. And so, again, NVIDIA's down a little bit. I'll kind of go over that. I sold out of a bunch yesterday, and I let the paid members know. I'm trying to make sure that the paid members have some value in that stuff. Let me make sure. Are my lights okay? Yeah, my lights are okay. I got a little more light over on this side. You can see the shadow. A little more light. I got light over here, and I've got light. My windows are over here on the left. That's a plain blank wall that I should hang pictures on, but I think by this time, Chris, I think you should be playing with house money on Palantir, if you are. So I think that's it. I'm guiding you through hopes and fears. Al babbles, I don't know. I mean, I do have a story on SoundHound. Before earnings, they said they were going to buy an AI play. And then they beat. And the stock didn't move right after. I haven't looked at it today. Let's see. And I don't have this one in a watch list. I don't have this one scanning. I don't have this one for anything. But if you look at this 4 hour, it's interesting because, and that's a big move. I mean, this is a 13% move in that morning candle yesterday. And then the afternoon was up 3%. So listen, they beat on earnings. It's Larry. I can't argue that Palantir just, and I've got MicroStrategy, and that's what I'm going to do is, I've got a Trendspider has a strategy on Bitcoin, and it seems pretty good, so you can trade on it. And we can build that one too. But okay, let's continue on this. Core portfolio, we're going to look at my brokerage holdings, which I actually need to alter because I got rid of, let's see. We're going to alter my brokerage holdings. We're going to take AVGO. I almost sold AVGO. Probably maybe should have. DOCU I sold, so I'm going to take that out. This is how you manage your portfolio in Trendspider. Is take it out of DOCU. I've got it. I'm not going to put it in there. That one I should have had out. I don't know why I still have that one. I have it in energy names. Okay. GCT I still own a little bit of. ITB I own. Coke, Marameta, Morgan Stanley, MicroStrategy, Netflix. Oxy I sold out of. I did. And and I'll go over why. But it's not coming out of the core portfolio. I just sold out of it in my own. Pins I sold out of. I took a small profit on pins. QQQM, SMCI, Snowflake, Square, Target, Uber, Ulta I sold out of. I want to get back into beauty in a different one. And that's it. So there's my brokerage holdings. But we're going to go back to core investments. We've got VRT, QQQM, Pins, Microsoft, we've got Oxy, we've got XLK, we've got PanW, we've got Google, Devon, we're going to put in QQQ as a cross-up. AVGO, IGM, and Snow. Man, Dell is just... I don't know, man. I'll go over Dell. I'm at a loss right now, too. I think my average purchase is like 110, but it doesn't... The valuation, it's because of the run-up and people just don't like it. And because SMCI reported that crazy good quarter other than margins, Dell is getting taken down with it. And I don't know, covered call ETFs. QYLD, QQQY, QYLG, GFQ, NUSI, QQQI, QQQQX. Energy names to trade. Let's see. Energy, MPC, Devon, MRO, Energy Transfer, LNG, Oxy, XOM, COP, and FANG. Levered ETFs. ETFs, FNGU, USD, MSFU, TBT, TQQQ, NVDL, Bulls, TECL. I don't do options, Al Bobbles. I don't do options, and I will not comment on options. And the reason I don't comment on options is just and low cost ETFs, VUG. I don't know options. I'm too dumb to do options, so I won't lead anybody in the direction that I know what I'm doing. I have no idea. So options are your thing, not mine. Wrong place to ask about options. XLC, Spider, sectors, XLC Communications, and XLK Tech. I think we have, oh God, the watch list is filled with crap. Not crap, good stuff. NTAP, Skyworks, MongoDB, Zscaler, SPMO, Twilio. Twilio is at 61. VRT, AVGO, Datadog, STRL, Sterling. I think that's Sterling Electric, MPC. ARM gets a cross up. Okta with a cross up. Snowflake, PayPal, and AppLovin Wow. Let's go to the Dow. And we'll do the Dow. Honeywell. Microsoft, Merck, Dow, and IBM. My dad wants to buy IBM. I think that's an interesting play. He wants to buy anything he sees on the news. PayPal, Google, Illumina, Texas Instruments, Picor, KLAC, REGN, Regeneron. Oh, wow. PS, MU, Micron, AMAT, Ross Stores, Marriott, Autodesk, ADI, Adobe, Starbucks, Marvell, LRC, Lam Research, Intuit, BIIB, onsemi, NXPI, and NVIDIA. Okay, and let's do the S&P. I think all 100 S&P are going to be in here. Oh, so let's see. Okay, it's UPS, AT&T, GM, Starbucks, Cat, Honeywell, COP, NVIDIA, XOM, Dow, Texas Instruments. Yeah, they're all in there. Okay. Let's go back to the strategy tester. And we'll go to the 4-hour. Okay. Snow is down below that. I mean, what's interesting about snow, and we've talked about that weekly. I'll show you the range. It's just broken on the weekly. It's broken below that range. So it'd have to close above 126 today, which I don't see happening. But I do see an opportunity for it to come back up. I mean, that's just kind of what I see. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. I'm back. Okay. What up, Star? I think Amazon could be. Kathy Woods, if you follow her, I think Kathy Woods is a great economist, and I think she knows a lot of stuff about good stocks, and I like her stuff. She bought a ton of Amazon this week. Shai Bular, he has a tough. if you follow Shy on Savvy Trader, I mean, let's look up this. SavvyTrader.com. Let's popular portfolios. Shy. 1 month he's down 11%. 1 week down 8%. Year to date he's down 6.55%. It's not great. I mean, that's, again, if you're looking for stuff, this is his growth portfolio. So, my growth portfolio was up 86%. So let's genuinely look at my real portfolio. Yeah, I mean, he's honest. It's been a rough time. Now, core portfolio, on the other hand, is performing really, really well. There's 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Where's the year to date? I guess there's no year to date on here for each one of these. But the core portfolio is doing well. I mean, this was the peak in mid-July where it was up 37%. It's up 26% year to date. So trading portfolio is doing okay. It's up about the same amount, but yeah, U.S. Steel is one of those that I forget about. It just had that golden cross too. Let me make sure I've got everything. Okay. Pricing. Did they release a weekend pricing update? No. Seeking Alpha Premium, Alpha Picks, friend discount code. I'm going to start promoting these because your boy needs free months of Visible. They sponsor it, so I should put it in there. Okay, let's open up some stuff. We've got a crypto strategy that Trendspider outlines, which is buying Bitcoin below the weekly Bollinger Bands. Continued to be, great. Soundhound announces the deal. That's the one where I'll kind of go over the chart. It's interesting. Trading desk. In fact, I'm going to open up. Let's see. Trading desk popped on good earnings. Let's see. What's the news on this one? Maybe it's just best to have this one. Yeah. This one includes, because it includes ELF as well. We'll put this one in the... I do own Trading Desk in my dad's portfolio, so we're going to go there. And then we're going to open this one up. And then we've got Taiwan Semi actually killing it. And we've got another NVIDIA price target upgrade. And the stock is down. Is it down or up? I don't know. It looks like it's up in pre-market. Palantir and Microsoft. I mean, this was a huge deal. Autonomous driving, if you're interested in Tesla, and I do have a Tesla and I have full self-driving. The tech who was out here the other day told me he's actually using it on a daily basis. He's an OG Tesla guy. And then I've got this chart which shows MPLX versus Oxy, which is why I wanted to get rid of Oxy. Stephanie Link, who I really like, goes over why she's been adding to CrowdStrike and why she bought more Amazon. So it's an interesting kind of play. This was a great 8 minutes of just how you manage to get into a position, and I think
here we are with crowd.
Yeah. Security.
I like that. This was Apple Ride or Die. It's going to test that. This is we're going to build a strategy with Trendspider to scan for stocks that are under their 200-day. So, and that's it. So we're going to do that. And let's see. Google's down 2%. Meta is down back almost under 500. QQQ, I'm going to take a look at this one. We're down a little bit on that one. Okay. Let's see. I've got all of that open. I've got anything on FinViz that kind of jumps out at me. Wah, wah. Nothing really. Did something happen at 8:30? No. Should I just say, yeah, do nothing? I mean, that's the basis of it. Do nothing. This is an interesting one. So Square, a director. He's a director. He's been buying. I can say he's been buying, but he hasn't sold his Square. I mean, he bought it 50. He bought it 57. It's two $25 million buys. He bought it 50. Again, that's big amount. I don't know if it really makes a lot of difference because you're kind of in that downward trend. I'm not going to bring it up. I do own Square. I still do, and I hate it. I want to get rid of it. But it keeps popping up, and I keep thinking. Okay, so we're going to go over QQQ. We'll go over the stuff that I've got. Let me make sure my camera's right. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I still use the webcam on my iMac. I'm going to, when Apple releases the X4, the M4, I mean, on the Mac Mini, I'm probably going to get a whole new setup. So if you're new here, yeah, good luck. I'm a fraud. You can take that clip and put it out there if you'd like. Let's see. Okay. I'll hit record now. Good morning. It is Friday, August 9th, one day before my birthday. Oh, hold on. I'm going to stop recording. Why? Okay, update. I don't know why it's doing that, but it is doing that. Okay. Did they just release an update? 4 hour. I thought I updated it before. Rocket Lab, I think they reported earnings. That's in Shy's thing. Let's see. Rocket Lab's on the downside in the 5-minute. So it popped. Now it's settling back down. You might see it below 5. Okay, Chris. Then that makes sense. They probably just updated something. Yeah. Okay, let's get back into this. Let me just delete this. Move to trash. It is one day before my birthday, by the way. What? Good morning. It is Friday, August 9th, one day before my birthday. Yes, my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 54 years old. So 5 years, 4.5 years of retirement. It's a good thing. Let's talk about the markets. Qs. I talked about 450 being a key point. We have seen a couple of days now where the market can't get over that 450. Where are we in pre-market? We're at 445. Yesterday felt damn good. The MACD low. It's 8 points below the oscillator on the Qs. Okay? The RSI 44. That would normally be a buying opportunity. Okay? But let's take a look at the weekly, and this is what I've been trying to say. The weekly, the high this week is 449. We're trading at 445. We closed yesterday at 448. We can't get above that. That is a resistance level, okay? We've seen this pullback. We're below the 9-day. We still have some downside available to us. Does it feel good? No. But understand, this is the time when you want to do this. I'm going to go over what I made in moves yesterday. I sold a bunch of things. I'll go over everything like that. I'll go over the SPY targets. I'll go over the 3 reasons why I think you still should be bullish in this market. We will build a custom scanner in Trendspider live to show you how good their ChatGPT integration is. We'll go over some other stuff, including another Friday and another NVIDIA upgrade, price target upgrade. We'll go over all of that. But what I want to point out is that the MACD, remember on the 4-hour, it looked really good. It is still 14 points above the oscillator on the weekly though. We are still extended. The RSI is only down at 50. It's 49.43. Okay? We still have more downside. If we are to go down, we are to go down a little bit more. And I'll show you. Last year, in the middle of July, we hit a high, okay? This was a high of 384. So we can take that 384 and we can go down to the October lows. October 23rd, the low was 342. You take that down, it's about a 10% move. The only thing that is crazy about this move is the speed of this. That was 2 months, okay? This is 1 month where you're down about 15%. The speed of this was the only thing. The good things about the market, earnings continue to grow. That's good for upward movement of SPY. Remember, we went, and if you want to see on dailystockpick.substack.com, let's just open that up. Because this is a free newsletter. You get it for free. During the week, it is absolutely free. And earlier this week, I started posting the points where you want to take a look. We said SPY 5,300. That's the current estimate. That's super bullish. If you lower growth, you get down to 5,000. Okay. Bearish, lower growth 450. Okay. Bearish, the ultimate bear with 5% growth and a 15 PE. That's 38.35. Doesn't align to the Qs. But again, this is a good thing that the S&P is growing earnings. Now, they're growing earnings 4% on an average 4% this year. The average 5 years, they're growing 8%. So it's slowing down a little bit. You just have to take out COVID. Now, the other thing is normalization of rates. We saw a 30-year bond auction, which didn't take the market down yesterday versus the 10-year bond auction on Wednesday took the market down midday. And you've got coming up, again, the third good thing that you have in this market is the Fed rate cuts. So if you want to think about three things that may take the market higher in the long term, that is it. We can take a look at the volatility index, and I've told you, I don't want to make huge moves, huge buys in my portfolio until this VIX gets down below 20. And it's currently at 24. We can look at the 5-day portion of the VIX. You can see on Monday, we got up to 64. That's only happened 2 other times, during the financial crisis and COVID. So we still have volatility in this market. I want it under 20. So between the charts, the VIX, and other things, it's a Friday. I wouldn't be making any big moves in your portfolio. I think, again, if you want to track me on the newsletter, it's free. I will post all of the charts. I will post everything for you. But when we look at these charts, it is super, super clear. And I will tell you, the Qs, when you run the 4-hour algorithm, it's right here. You got to buy at 448. You got to buy in. Do I want to buy in at 448? If my time frame is 2 to 3 years, or even 6 to 12 months, I think that's not a bad buy. Because again, you've got growing earnings. We've talked about this. You've got the Fed rate cut. You've got some catalysts in here. You've got NVIDIA earnings on August 28th. You've got all of those things. That's where I think you're fine. But do I want to load up into this? No. We're still in a downward trend. Look at that 50-day. It's still at the top of the Bollinger Band, and it's moving down. You haven't seen these Bollinger Bands cinch up. You haven't seen a huge indicator tell me that there's a change in direction. The MACD is crossing up, but it's still, on the weekly, still looks bad. So we've gone over this before. Patience. So over the 50% of the NASDAQ 100 names trade below their 200-day moving average. How can you find stuff like this? Okay, we're going to do this live on the air. I'm going to go to the market scanner in Trendspider right now, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to scan the NASDAQ. So we're just going to type in the NASDAQ, and I'm going to use add chat GPT function. And I'm going to say the daily closes lower than the 200 period SMA, okay? And I'm going to apply this. And this is how you use your tools, okay? This is how you use it. It did it for me. It wrote that scan, okay? And I scan it. And then I can see all of these names in the NASDAQ 100 that are trading below their 200-day on the daily, okay? This is the 4-hour. If we just move this to a daily, you'll see the 200 days up here. That's Comcast. We can look at Team, which is Atlassian. That one under its 200-day. You can look at Dollar Tree. We can look at that. The red line is the 200-day. How did I use this? Well, again, it's Trendspider. If you want to sign up for Trendspider, you use my link tree. It's the top link here, okay? The top link gets you over to Trendspider, and you sign up. It's less than $50 a month. You sign up annually. Somebody asked me, and it's in the socials, and I'll read it exactly. They asked me, Mr. Vaughn, this is Jay from Spotify. He wrote a comment, and you can write comments on Spotify. I want to sign up for a Trendspider, but I'm not ready to purchase a whole year until I see what I like about it. Do your algorithms and other perks come along when you buy just for a whole year? And no, you can pay for monthly. The problem is the monthly is $107. So after a couple of months, if you like it, you're already done. What I told Jay was you can buy the monthly. It's just super expensive. I'll still give you my algorithms and the links to import it. But if you're new to technical trading, then what I would do, and again, this is just me, I would sign up for Webull. Webull's right here, the fourth link. And I would get a charting program. If you have Fidelity, it's Active Trader Pro. If you have a TD Ameritrade, which I think is now Morgan Stanley, it's Thinkorswim. If you have E-Trade, you have charting platforms for free. I wouldn't get Trendspider if I'm brand new to charting. I would learn technical trading on a free tool, because what Trendspider does is it just gives you that ability to take the training wheels off. And with ChatGPT integration, it is that good. You can read an article like this and then go and scan the tool. And you can say, okay, say you just want your own watch list. Okay, you want to scan your own watch list in this. You just scan this, take this, and you say, you know what? I've got the daily stock pick watch list. Which ones are the ones that are trading under the 200-day? Let's scan this one. And it will scan those. We've got Shopify. We talked about that one being under its 200-day. We got Duolingo. We talked about that one just having earnings. We talked about Okta, which is an alpha pick. GBTC, which is Bitcoin. That's trading under its 200-day. TEX, which is Terex Corporation. And the watch list comes from both Alpha Picks, Motley Fool, and my own personal stuff. So again, that's how you use these tools. If you want Trendspider, I'd say use it, get my 4-hour algorithm and sign up through me, because that's the benefit that you get. But if you're worried about, hey, it's a lot, $642 is a lot, and I understand that's a hell of a lot of money. But in this downturn, if you lost more than $642 and you think that in your own system, you could take emotion out of the trade and actually go in and just use my 4-hour algorithm and say, you know what, in the Qs, let's just look at the Qs. In the Qs, I know Gary's algorithm. Let's put it on the Qs. On the Qs, I know Gary's algorithm makes me, let's see what it back tested for 2 years, makes me 38%. I make 41% if I buy and hold, but I'm losing sleep at night. It made me 13% and it got me out. Understand that you do have to know how these technicals work. The strategy is built. You can see it when you put it in. But if you don't know how these technicals work, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to you. So learn technical trading. Okay? I like that. You can do it daily. You can do it weekly, whatever you want to do. But you can that's how easy it is to build a strategy in a scanner. Now, the strategy also includes exits. The scanner is just entry. So it will scan on things that you want to buy. But the strategy tells you when to enter and when to exit. And you can see this. Now, am I buying this 448? Nope. So what I want to do is show you also Apple, because Apple is a perfect example of what just happened this week. Buffett said on Saturday last week, it was a week ago, that he sold, 50% of his Apple? So Buffett said he sold it. I mentioned buying Apple under 200 was the play. If you did that, you're up 7 to 8% this week on that buy now. Apple is down in pre-market. I don't know what will happen over the weekend, but this is good. This is Trendspider saying this is an absolute retest of the previous highs. And you can see that. Remember we talked about how, 200 was a resistance level. It is now support. And this is a great example. Have you ever seen a more perfect retest? And what a retest means is it went up to 237 and then it came back down to 200. That's just a retest. If it uses as support, you can be guaranteed that that is support. If it goes below that, then again, we've lost that support and it turns into resistance again. So where are we with Apple right now? You're trading at 211. It's in that medium term and it's using, again, you're up 7% if you bought on the lows. But that's an example of when a reaction in the market is an overreaction. And I like that one. So CNBC yesterday, Stephanie Link brought more CrowdStrike and Amazon. I agree with both of those. Just understand CrowdStrike, I think, is a great buy. In fact, I think I bought more yesterday. I'm not sure, but it might have been just the other day. I did sell a lot, and we'll go into that. But CrowdStrike here at 240, it's a good buy. I mean, closing at 240, let's see, in pre-market, you're at 243. You've got these gaps, and I told you, I didn't buy at 200, where the algorithm said to buy in. I bought it like 234, 233, somewhere in that neighborhood, because I want to test this. You have confirmation. We talked about the 9-day being confirmation. I like that. So Stephanie Link, who I totally respect, this is her first buy of CrowdStrike. She wasn't in at 300. She said it got cheaper. And she believes in the actual technology. She believes in the cybersecurity of that. She sold out of Fortinet. I told you I sold out of Fortinet on my dad. I sold 50% of it. She sold out of Fortinet and bought CrowdStrike. So I like that one. I like it a lot. Okay, outside of that, let's talk about, I raised about $50,000 of cash yesterday. And there's a couple of things that I wanted to go over and just strategy. I had said it before that I was looking at this week to rebalance my portfolio. I think I announced that Friday of last week. I said I want to use next week to rebalance my portfolio if we continue to see some weakness. So we had SMCI earnings. The margins were the only thing that came about. We haven't seen this one come all the way back. You're trading at 511 right now. This one on a weekly still has room to go down. It's almost there. but I would expect it at the top of this kind of range right here at about 450 to absolutely have support. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to go down. You can see the volume profile just went straight up and then came straight down. You're seeing if we move this back, I'm going to move this volume profile here in Trendspider to really the beginning of this run, which was May of 2023. You can see where are people holding. They're holding at 300. That's where I had a large portion of my buy was between 200 and 300. I sold out yesterday. So I assigned the sale to my purchase and my brokerage account to December. And the reason I did that was because that was still about 100% gain. And it's to cover short-term losses from GCT, which I got out of in my brokerage account. Again, these are all brokerage accounts. I still hold GCT in my retirement account. I got out of DocU. DocU was I'll go over everything, and I got out of Ulta. I did not sell out of SMCI. It's just a trim. I sold about half of it in my brokerage account. My plan is to add that back in my retirement account. Right now in my retirement account, I'm sitting at a loss on SMCI, but I will dollar cost average because I do like the forward profile of this name. That's just it. But I took those gains from 200 to about 500, and I took those gains and I wrote it against the losses. So now I don't have to pay taxes on those gains. It's not an optimal strategy, but it's tax loss harvesting. So any of those names, GCT, DocU, and Ulta, if I want to buy them, I will buy them 30 days from now. And that is before the Fed meeting. And any of these that I sold out of, that I took a loss on, I will be able to buy before the Fed meeting. That's why I did it this week. So we talked about SMCI. Why did I sell out of Oxy when Warren Buffett is buying Oxy? Well, there's two things. Because look at this chart over 1 year of MPLX over Oxy. Oxy over 1 year is down 6.96%, okay? MPLX is up 29%. 29%. If I want energy, I'm going to go with MPLX. Does it have another 29% in it? I don't know. Does Oxy outperform it? I don't know. But when we look at the summary of MPLX, it's a buy. The valuation's a B+. When you go and look at peers, we're going to take a look at this because I want to take a look at the actual PE and the valuations of MPLX versus Oxy. So we're going to edit these symbols. And again, this is how you use these tools that I have. It's Seeking Alpha and it's Trendspider. We're going to take a look at this one. We're going to take a look at Oxy. And we're going to say, okay, and the other one, you know what? I'll put in Berkshire as well, because if you want to follow Buffett, just buy Berkshire. And so that's what my learning is about this Apple stuff. If you want to follow Buffett, just buy Berkshire. If you want to follow Buffett into Oxy, just buy Berkshire or buy an energy into MPLX because he said it. Now, quant rating of Berkshire, strong buy. Strong buy. Quant rating of Oxy is a hold. When you look at it, it's the valuation that Oxy is bad on. Now, I made this determination after their earnings. When you look at the PE, it's 15. I can buy Berkshire at about 20, but I can buy MPLX at 10. Okay? When I look at the PEG, are they growing? They're at 1. MPLX is at 2. So Oxy probably has a better growth profile. But, I'll just buy Berkshire. I don't like the 1 year performance. When you look at the revenue growth, Oxy is declining by 13% per year, year over year. MPLX is actually growing. The forward, Oxy's projecting a 6% revenue decline. So profitability, you can see they're about the same. Berkshire, lower margin. But my thought was, if I want to follow Buffett, I'll just do that. So that was the reason. Now, GCT, I sold because I know that 25 is the support level. And it's been holding that support level, but it seems to have lost it. And so that now becomes a resistance level at 24.25. It's making its way back up. But I didn't like it. I can buy it back 30 days from now. The earnings are done. The pop on this one, they're going to have another short sellers report. I wanted to take the loss, and if it pops, I'll buy it again. I still have exposure in my retirement account. DocU, I bought. It's just overpriced. I'll chalk that one up to a loss. I bought it because somebody was saying they were going to buy it. It popped to 65, 66. I bought it at like 59 or 60. I sold it. Ulta, I'm getting out of beauty. I learned my lesson. The journal on that one was, hey, I'm just not a beauty guy. I expected to bounce back up to 400 at some point, but right now I don't expect it to do that. So their earnings are coming up. It might be good. It might be good, but I just talked about, hey, I just want to get out of that one. Now, Truist reinstates tech sector to overweight status after sharp sell-off. So selling off the consumer stuff was my focus. I want to get into more tech. This is the way I'm going to do it. So XLK, heavy NVIDIA profile. So yeah, I'm going to do it. After reading this, I want to take that money and I want to get into tech, but I want to be patient about it. And I don't want to buy on a Friday. I'm going to be patient about it. That's my learning from the past few times that I've done this. I'm not traveling. I did some rush trades when I was traveling. I'm going to be patient about it. So a lot of people, talk. I had a Tesla guy here Wednesday. And he fixed my car. I had a problem with the right front headlight, which he said is pretty normal. They replaced it under warranty. Tesla is great for service, by the way. Anybody complaining about Tesla service just probably has their expectations too high. It's a great, great company. This guy is OG. I think he started working for Tesla in like 2016. Probably a multimillionaire just based on the stock options that he has, but he loves his job and he has been fantastic. He told me that he's using full self-driving on a daily basis now. And he said it's gotten really good. I still don't use it around like local driving, but I love it on the highway. This is a great article about robotaxi fleet race heats up with Tesla, Waymo, Zoox, Uber, Lyft, and BYD in the mix. I thought this was a great article. They talk about how they used Tesla's full self-driving. They talk about who uses NVIDIA. They talk about Uber and Lyft kind of sitting around. It's a good article. If you're interested in that and you want to read about it, this is a good article. It will be in the newsletter. We talked about Palantir being popping to 30. It's at 29, 28. And what did it take to get there? A partnership with Microsoft. And this is game-changing for Palantir. I don't think it changes my thesis that this one gets to 30 and pulls back to 25. I don't think it changes my thesis. Now, I could be completely wrong about this, but I don't think it changes my thesis. When I look at the weekly, could it go above 30? Absolutely. You're seeing back here 29.19. You're seeing 29.29. You're seeing it pull back after 29. Until that becomes a support level, it is resistance. I think 25 was resistance. It turned into support. So I think between 25 and 30, I think that's a good name. Read about this partnership. It's an interesting one. Okay, Palantir moves from having like a 30-day thing to a 3-day thing. Again, with Microsoft's cloud, they partner up. I like this. I like both names. I own a ton of Microsoft. I don't own Palantir. I wish I would have bought Palantir before the earnings, but I didn't. I didn't trust that 25. Now that it's hitting 30, I will buy it when it pulls back to 25. I'll just have patience. And if I don't get it, I don't get it. I probably got it in an ETF somewhere. That's just it. Now it's another Friday, and it's another price hike for NVIDIA. Rakesh upped his price target. This is from Mizuho. Upped his price target to 132 from 127. That's not a big move. Now, yesterday we saw it go 6%. I continue to say the closer you get to 100, again, if you're buying 5 shares, the difference between 104 and 100 is $20. Don't lose your shit for $20. Could this come down to 80? Absolutely. But I'm seeing a lot more people add to this. Look at how high that MACD is on the weekly. Okay, the RSI at 54. The last couple of times you had the opportunity to buy this under, close to that at 58 and at 51 on the weekly, the RSI, it took off. And so their earnings are August 27th, 28th, 26th, 27th, somewhere in that neighborhood. Get it. If you don't have exposure to it, get XLK. XLK owns a ton of this stuff. So if you want some insulation from it, get XLK. But again, have exposure to NVIDIA in your portfolio. I'm not saying that this one won't go down 20%. It absolutely could. But in my mind, this is one you want to buy. I do think that this is one you want to buy. Why? Taiwan Semi just announced July sales surge 45% amid AI chip demand. If you don't think that this includes NVIDIA, you're out of your mind. You're just not reading the market well enough. What's taking NVIDIA down are these option plays. And the option plays are playing 0 DTE options on NVIDIA. And it's keeping it down there. And when they blow it away, you're going to see that stock pop. Now, if they even mention Blackwell delay, you might see it fall. But I think over a year, the valuation makes sense in both Taiwan Semi and NVIDIA. You just have to worry about China. That's it. Let's talk about the biggest stock movers of the day. One of them I brought up yesterday. Trading Desk was up 12%. I said it yesterday. This one was set up nicely. It's set up super nicely. This is where you use both the technicals and the fundamentals. This one's set up nicely. It does have a $100 cap on it. So if you bought yesterday at 86, you're trading right now at $90. It's up 2%. But you went all the way up. I mean, we can look at the 5-minute on the after hour. We'll include after hours here. You can see it was up here at 94, 95. It popped all the way to 90 it looks like 95, 90. Would have been a great buy at 86. I mean, we can go to the 4-hour and run this. So, we don't want the after hours in the 4-hour algorithm. That's what you don't want. But if you bought at 86 and you got up to 95, great play. It popped 11, 12%. I do own this in my dad's portfolio. Full disclosure. So, but some of the other big movers, Paramount Global rose 5% on mixed Q2. I still say buy Netflix. Expedia jumped. Again, somebody's telling some of these travel names that the consumer's not weak. They're growing. And ELF dived 10%. I got out of Beauty. Again, it points to a weak consumer in certain segments of the population. That's what it does. So it raised its forecast. I don't know what else is doing right now. We can look at ELF. Pre-market, it's down 10%. So it is what it is. Now, one that I thought was interesting was SoundHound. This is one where you heard that NVIDIA had put some money into it, and it popped. It popped 21% yesterday. Now, in pre-market, it's down 2%. I thought it was interesting that they announced a deal to acquire Amelia AI, and then they announced earnings, and the earnings beat. And that huge pop, I think, was just from the announcement. Now, do you want to get into this one? This is highly speculative. It's not making money. They do have a deal where they do have revenue. So it's not a, oh my God, this company's going to go bankrupt. We can take a look at some of the stuff on FinViz. But when you look at it, the valuation is B. The profitability is an F. I mean, that's just it. Revisions, they're taking it down. This is one you want to trade. I don't know that this is what, their market cap right now is $1.71 billion. This dude on the analysis, the voice AI could be worth $100 billion. Pay up for SoundHound. Now, I wouldn't want to chase this one. Year to date, you are up 145%. So where do you get into this one? Well, the algorithm just had a buy-in at 507. You're trading at 509. Not a horrible price, but I would tell you that I'd probably wait 3 days after their earnings to get into this. You may want to, the algorithm makes you 502% versus 32% in 24 months. So you win 41% of the time. Your average win is 49%. That includes this crazy 252% win that you got when it was announced that NVIDIA was putting money in. It included this pullback and then confirmation where you got this nice 25% gain. So, maybe the 65-minute algorithm makes a little bit more sense for you because that brings the price in. You make 220% versus 149% over 8 months with the 65-minute algorithm. Again, it got you in at $4.94. Super positive on the confirmation right there. Big move right before earnings. I just think that you want to wait at least 3 days after this type of pop to actually get into this name. That would be my guidance for you. So I thought that was interesting. Now, an interesting crypto strategy. I own MicroStrategy, MSTR, and IBIT as my 2 retirement accounts on Bitcoin. But what's interesting is Bitcoin weekly chart. They're saying, hey, it's always been a good one to buy on the bottom end of the Bollinger Band. Again, I showed you how to do that scan. You can set up that scan and you can set up any exit that you want and back test it in Trendspider. So you can find a strategy that works for Bitcoin for you in Trendspider. Go and do it. Go and do it. Jacob from Facebook. Thoughts on KNTK? I hold MPLX already. Should I get into this one? KNTK. Let's see. KNTK. This is Kinetech Holdings. I don't know anything about this. We'll go and we'll look at this. But Kinetech Holdings, we're in the 65-minute. Let me get back to the 4-hour real quick because I don't like trading stuff. I feel more comfortable with the 4-hour kind of looking at stocks. So this one is put in a shelf right here at about 40. You're trading at 41. Looks like the MACD has reset itself. You've had your earnings. Your RSI is kind of there. Let's go and look at KNTK in Seeking Alpha to see what it is. My assumption is, since you mentioned MPLX, it's oil. Yeah, it's energy. Let's see what they do. We'll go down here. Kinetech operates midstream company in Texas, Delaware Basin. I would say if you've got MPLX, I don't know what the interest in this one would be. We can go and take a look at the valuation B. It's a buy. We can look at the peers. Maybe MPLX is the peer. I think they compete against each other, if I'm not. Let's just take a look and we'll edit the symbols. We'll get rid of all of these other ones. And again, you're going to have to go into more of a look into this. I only own MPLX, and MPLX has been a winner for me. I liked it. Seeking Alpha covers, I mean, you know, it's got a super, super small market cap versus MPLX. MPLX is $42 billion. Kinetech is $6.2 billion. Wall Street analysts covering about the same. They're both buys. Looks like MPLX has a smaller growth profile. So when you look at the dividends, 7.25 for Kinetech, MPLX is at 8. When you look at the total return, 3-month return, when you look at 6-month, Kinetech is significantly more on the 6-month. 9-month, they're about the same. Year to date, they're about the same. 1 year, they're about the same. 3 years, MPLX beats them. So maybe Kinetech is just growing more than MPLX. Dividend yield, A-. Dividend consistency, that might be an issue for you. PE, it looks like Kinetech's just more expensive. That's kind of where my thing is. What I don't know, Jacob, is what would be your interest in this one over MPLX? And so I don't know your portfolio. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know exactly what you're looking for. But it seems like they're pretty complementary to each other. And for me personally, I just own MPLX. BLDBD for James on Facebook. He asked me about this one. And he said, hey, what interests you about the chart? My thing about BLBD is nothing more than it's an alpha pick. And it's been an alpha pick, and it's doing really, really well. 1 year, you're up 132%. When you look at the valuation, the growth, the profitability, it's all A's. It's a strong buy in the quant, and they just had earnings. Now, what interests me about this one? He said, hey, the weekly looks good, but what about the 4-hour? It is an alpha pick. So I told James on Facebook, it's an alpha pick. And it gets you in here at 48.57. Now, the algorithm makes you 335%. Buying and holding over 24 months makes you 342%. Your average win is 25%. You can see this recent one got you 55%. So you win 43% of the time. Again, I think this one is just an alpha pick. So I don't think that even the 4-hour, I don't think it's worth it doing it. The valuation is good. When you look at the weekly, it looks like it's pulled back a little bit. And it looks like that MACD is super high. Looks like the RSI. You can probably wait for this one to come down. But again, from an alpha pick, the valuation, and this is what I would be looking at more than the actual chart. I would just be using the chart to find an entry. That's all I would do. And from a 4-hour, you just got the signal to buy an entry. Do I want to buy it? I'm not huge into like yellow school buses, but they did announce earnings, and it was a good earnings pop. I mean, this is an 8.21%. You could have bought it right after earnings at the open for $45, okay? It closed at $48. The high was $49. That's a big move. That's a big move in a company that I personally wouldn't have minded holding because it's an alpha pick and it's got good valuation. So that's kind of my thought on that one. So when I post something like that, that would be my thought process. The MACD is below the oscillator. The RSI is 44. Again, the 200-day is moving positive. The 50-day is moving negative, but those earnings were good. So I went over Jay's comments about Trendspider at the beginning. Daniel Proaya, he wrote me on LinkedIn. Hi, Gary. I'm so glad I found your podcast on Spotify. I'm truly enjoying it. I feel like your investment strategies and goals are very similar to mine. My dad and I are day traders and bought NVIDIA back in the day at $10.80. Kudos. God, I hope you're retired, Daniel. We have enjoyed every split and sold a few shares here and there. Take advantage of it. In other stacks, CrowdStrike. However, I always like to keep a few strong dividend stocks within the core portfolio. And I was wondering what your thoughts were about HTGC. Let's look up HTGC. This is Hercules Capital. Sounds like a REIT to me, but let's take a look at it. They have a strong dividend, 10%. I think this might be a good one to hold into the retirement account. The quant rating continues to recommend holding and never a history of a sell rating. I would appreciate your advice on this. Thanks and have a great evening. So here's the 4 hour looks decent on this one. It doesn't have you in, but it probably will get you in at some point in time. Their ex-dividend date is August 13th. So if you're interested in the dividend, you buy it. Their last earnings doesn't look like it was very good. So let's take a look at this one. HTGC. Hercules Capital. Let's see what it is because I think it's probably a REIT. Financials, asset management, and custody banks. So is a business development company for providing private equity, venture debt, and growth capital to privately held venture capital-backed companies. I mean, it's a hold. If we take a look at the quant history on this one, it's been a buy here at $18 and you're back to 18. It got all the way up to 21. From a dividend perspective, you're looking at forward 10.41. Daniel, here's my thoughts on dividends. What do you need income for? I mean, if you're just looking at income, you're not, your picture doesn't make you look like you're old enough to where you need income. So personally, I've always been a growth over income. And when I need income, it's a little bit later. So let's take a look at select symbols. We're going to say, I mean, look at its 1 year, its 3 year. We'll select metrics because I want to include the total return, not just price return. And you take a look at this. Hercules Capital over 3 years, the total return's good. 5 years, total return's good. It's beating the S&P. If we select symbols and we go QQQ, which is my kind of guide, if you can beat QQQ long term, it's not bad. The Q is up 146 over 5 years. HTGC is up 156. The one thing you have to worry about is, will they stop paying that dividend? Because the dividend, if you just look at select metrics and we just look at performance and just price return, if for some reason that dividend is taken out, then you're having over 5 years the Qs. So that would be my thing. And I just I'd rather have the growth than the actual dividend because I don't need income. And so if you need income, you can put that in there. I don't think it's a bad choice at all. I think it's a very good choice. You can take a look at some of the seasonality of it to see if it trades well. But you can see revenue annual going up, quarterly. I mean, they're doing well quarterly and annually. Earnings per share quarterly, looks like they're beating it. So again, I don't think it's a bad one. It's just probably not my cup of tea. But hey, if you like having something like that, then have at it. I don't think it's a bad one at all, to be honest with you. Let's talk about some cross-ups. The main one, NVIDIA. NVIDIA's up 1.31%. So $105.22. It's trading at 106. Like I said, I think NVIDIA is just one to buy. We're going to go over just a couple because there are a lot of names in the scans. Yesterday with it up 3%. Again, how's that bond portfolio working out for you? Probably not real great. But Google, here it is, 163. I think anything between this 151 and 171, I think you're okay buying it. I loved the Google AI stuff. XLK, if you want exposure to the tech sector, specifically a heavy exposure to NVIDIA, but you want some insulation, XLK, it's at 204. It will rebalance. They took out Apple and put NVIDIA in there. Microsoft has a cross up. This one, around $400. Just keep adding to it. I think they'll do fine. Their earnings are done. I mean, the pop is done, 403. You can see the entry in the algorithm. We talked about Qs. I think this one capped at 450 until it's not. So the Q's right there. PanW. I bought some CrowdStrike. PanW has a cross up here. It's trading at 319. Their earnings are coming up later this month, right around, I think it's the week. Yeah. Next week, August 20th. Or I'm sorry, the week after. 315. Is this one you want to get into? Well, I take a look at that weekly chart, and the MACD has reset while it's gone sideways. Okay? This one, in my mind, not a bad play. Again, you have to believe that Palo Alto is going to continue on their promise of growing. That's the biggest thing. But it's cybersecurity. Who's shutting that down? FBCG, which is a great ETF. You know, this one has a buy. This one over 2 years, you make 43% in the algorithm versus 54% buy and hold. I would argue you buy and hold. You look for an entry. 38.86, not a bad entry. When you look at this weekly, okay, the 4 hour looks like it reset, but when you take a look at the weekly, still looks like you might have downside, but you're using that 50-day as support at 35. This is a buy and hold. Just buy and hold it. VRT, QQQM, PINS, Devon, AVGO, Broadcom, CAT, Skyworks, MongoDB, Zscaler, Twilio. The list is long. Get the list at the newsletter for free. Right here. You'll get it. I'll publish it right after I'm done with this. And let's talk about supporting me. Because again, I told you, if you're new to actual charting, get a free charting program. Use Webull. They have a desktop charting program. They have the best mobile app. It is by far my favorite mobile app for charting. I like it. I like it better than Trendspider's, mobile app, to be honest with you. So if you want a mobile app, if you want to learn technical stuff, just download Webull. Now, if you already know some technical stuff and you want to get a little bit more into it, take the training wheels off, Trendspider is your go. Trendspider is an amazing, amazing platform. You sign up for it and you get to this page and then you choose whatever plan you want and go and get it. And then email me. Go back to the link tree. Email me up here and I will send you a welcome letter. Just take a screenshot of your account to show me the email address that you used to sign up for Trendspider. And I'll send you back 4-hour algorithm, 65-minute algorithm, all of my custom watch lists, custom scanners, everything. The other thing that you saw me use was Seeking Alpha Premium. Okay, $25 off your membership, a free 7-day trial. Click on this link in Linktree, and you'll get $25 off. Now, you heard me talk about Bluebird. Bluebird is one of the alpha picks. These are stocks that I've never heard of, but the performance of the actual portfolio is what you're buying. 114% versus 38%. I included yesterday in the newsletter. Yesterday at the top of the newsletter, once I got through all of this stuff, here's the year-to-date performance. Okay, the S&P is up 9%, but Alpha Picks portfolio is up 23%. You get the percentage of the portfolio to do it. So say you have $5,000. You can actually buy all 32 of your of the Alpha Picks in the percentage that the portfolio has them. It gives you all of that. These are 2 stock picks per month, once on the 1st, once on the 15th. They tell you the exact day when to sell when they take it out of the portfolio. They email you. So everything that you need. This is basically a service where if you don't understand fundamentals, again, the technicals, you can learn them. You can use Trendspider. This is a fundamental platform. These guys just base it on fundamentals, and they give you all of the fundamentals that they go over. So if you want to learn that, this is the portfolio for you. Now let's talk about other things in the link tree. Okay, Visible. It's the phone service I use. The link is right down there. Using my link, you get $20 off your first month. Well, what are the plans? Again, this is Verizon. This isn't some like hunky-dory like mint.com or any one of those. You can get for $20 a month. You get $20 off from the friend code. So $20 off. Again, your first month is free. If you use this, get 24 months of Visible for $20 a month. I think if you pay monthly, it's $20 a month. You pay annually, it's $275. You save $25, you get a free month. But again, my referral code saves you $20. Now, the other referral code that I have is for AT&T. If you want a wireless service or fiber service, that's what I use at my house. I have gig service. I have gig service at my house. That's why you see me in such stunning clarity every day. But check the availability there. Use that one. Now, if you made money or for my birthday or you want to say thank you, I got Cash App. I've got Venmo. I've got PayPal. I've got it all up there for you. You can follow my trades on Savvy Trader if you want. The core portfolio is 100% free to follow. I've also got a trading portfolio up there that I updated before I updated the newsletter. The paid subscribers on the newsletter, they got it about the same time when I actually did the portfolio update. So again, all of these things support me. I thank you for your support. I thank you for listening. If I can do anything for you, just message me. Again, that email address, it's up there. It's open. Not to, invite anybody, but my DMs are open. So if you have any questions, hit me up. You guys have a great weekend. Again, I think we're going to end the week on a positive note. I don't know that today will be positive, but after Monday, anything we close today at that's not down 5-6%, I think it's a positive note. Keep your eyes on the Qs because we're down about 0.31 now at 446. If we run into the close and you close over 450, I'd be a little bit nervous, but happy because, again, we're going into a weekend where there's some uncertainty in the Middle East. There's some election issues. There's some consumer issues, and we're still extended on the weekly. So I would be very, very cautious about what you do today. I'm not making any sudden moves. I may add some to my portfolio, but I'm definitely not making any sudden moves. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, say bye. Okay, let's read your comments. Rocket Lab, we went over that one. Morning, Brandon. Where's Christian? Christian, I would be surprised if we ever see Christian again. I muted him. That pissed him off. One thing that I will not put up with, Scott, is somebody insulting another person. And that's, you can insult me all you want, but when he started insulting everybody else, that's when it just, you already own the majority of XLY. So I own XLY is consumer. It's the consumer discretionary, and that's been the weakest. I mean, if you just look, let's see, we'll go over here. XLY. The holdings of XLY are, and it's a strong sell. I probably should take it out, but it's my exposure to Tesla. And that's where I keep it in, is because I don't own Tesla personally, and I don't want to take it out of the core portfolio while I have such a big exposure to it. Let's see. I'll tell you what my exposure to it is. I know I've got 6 figures in it in a couple of accounts, so I've got a lot of money in it. Let's see. All positions. We'll go down. The only 2 that I own in the spider sectors are XLK and XLY right now. And I've got current value. I've actually got more XLY than XLK. And that should probably change. But, okay, hold on one sec. I know you brought your ball in here. I went and got my computer. Thanks for the happy birthday. No, I'm not going over data, dog. Let's see. It shouldn't be out of the core portfolio. I kind of... let's see. Did Bitcoin dip under 48,000? When did overnight or something? Oh. Bitcoin US dollar, that's what I want. It's at 60. I don't think 60 is a bad one to buy at. I wish I had bought it a little bit more of it. XLU and NextEra are the top holdings. Ben from Bullish. But hey, Ben. XLU. Let's look at XLU. I think utilities. I think I went over utilities this summer where I said it was probably one of the best buys you could have. Just based on the weekly chart where it was down here. Maybe it was last year. I said, hey, this was the, if you look at this where I said, yeah, this was May, where it was trading about 71, 72, right where it is today. It dipped down. I said you still had confirmation, and I thought that you still could get to this 78. Now, it's overextended. I mean, from this point, this week was where I said, hey, it's down here. Even when it was below in December, I said XLU still has 38% to go up here. So you could absolutely make that work. That's where I went over that. Now, next era, NXE, I think is the symbol. No, next era. What's the symbol for the top holding? Let me go. Holdings. Let's see what their valuation and stuff is. Hey. It's expensive, it looks like. Even their PEG ratio at 2.68. The growth is good. I mean, 4% on revenues, but their earnings per share year over year, I mean, that's 71%. Operating cash flow 64%. I mean, that's revenue on growth 37%. So they're spending money to actually make money. I think it is NextEra. Is this the old Florida Power and Light? Yeah, I think this is the old Florida FPL. I think that's what it is. I like them. I like the company. Do I like the stock? I mean, 1 year you're up 11%. Year to date you're up 25%. I mean, we can look at the weekly is just flashed. It looks, the Bollinger Bands haven't come in enough. And with that MACD a little bit up, I'd be a little bit nervous that this one would be coming down. You make 17% versus losing 9% over 2 years with the algorithm. I think this is the factor of utilities. And you can see it's just the 200-day is flattened out. The 50-day is starting to move positive. That's not a bad one at all. And, again, I think they're doing things right in Florida with power. I think they do a lot. So I'm not a utility guy. I think from a stock perspective, it's an interesting one. But that MACD, the last time that it's been up this high, you can take a look. Let's just put in a horizontal line here. Look at that. Every time it's been up that high, you've seen pullbacks on the weekly. So I would expect it to probably pull back below that 200-day. I would be buying this under 74. That's where I would look for it. Datadog's just, I think they're, it's software. Software's having a rebound. And their earnings decent, but today you're up you're down 1.177, but it's not one that I necessarily cover. It's in, I think, the watch list because it's in the watch list because of the volatility. But even this volatility, you can see, it's kind of it's broken down. So I love energy too. I think energy's a good play. I don't think energy is going away. I think energy is going to be a good one. Yeah, and Alexander, Planet Fitness. If you use Planet Fitness, that's not a bad one. And they're printing cash. I mean, these guys just print cash. You can see that 200 days moving positive, the 50 days moving positive. They just did kill it on earnings. I would probably wait. What was this? August 5th. You're 4 days. I think if you can buy in that 78 range, I don't think that the valuation's stretched. I do think you have to worry about this weekly. I mean, it just seems like this goes all the way back to 2019 pre-pandemic. You're at 77. And it's a gym. So, there's not much, you got to, the growth is what you really want. And when you look at their growth, they're growing 6%. So levered free cash flow, it costs a ton of money to open a gym. That's what it is. When you look at revisions, it's D. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, let's look at the seasonality of it. Let's see. Can we go back even more? Yes. I can go back to 2015. And you're probably right. I mean, if you buy in September and then, your October, November, and December, you're up. This is a mean change of 12.32%. That's huge. Mean change of 2.66. But I would say you buy in September rather than now. But they will benefit from rate cuts as well. I don't know. Does this have debt on it? Let's see. Gross profit margin 59%. I mean, that's just crazy. Asset turnover 0.36 times. Yeah. It's not a bad one. But, you look at the 52-week range. Let's see what Wall Street says is the price target. 87. They haven't chased it up because when it was trading up here in the 80s, it was 105. Probably not a horrible one, Alexander, to be honest with you. But again, is it in my wheelhouse? No. Yeah. That hydro massage, I haven't used a Planet Fitness. In fact, I don't have a gym. I need to start joining a gym. But Planet Fitness here in Atlanta is disgusting. It's just disgusting. People are just nasty. It's disgusting. I hope you live in a place where it's actually nice. But it's disgusting here. So, yeah. Okay, let me see. Where are we? I'm down 0.41%. So I'm beating the NASDAQ. It's all Apple. I mean, Apple's down 0.4. So that drives my portfolio. Lilly's up another 5%. I mean, that's the Alzheimer drug. This one's killed it. I should have put a bunch of money into Lilly. MPLX is down 3%, but I think that's the dividend. Yeah, that's the dividend taking it down. It'll come back up. Buy on that dip because it's the dividend. That's just the 8% dividend where you're giving out 2%. So it's down 1% and energy's probably down. Yeah. Exxon's down. Exxon's going to be capped at 119. Make no mistake. If you're looking at Exxon, I'm selling out at 119. Walmart's up. Costco's up. Cleveland Cliff's down at 13.16. Lily's up. Meta's up a little bit. MPLX down. Oxy's down. Yeah, taking the opportunity to sell yesterday was the right idea. So, okay, I'm out. See you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you Monday.